Hi, and welcome to the Creative Treehouse. My name is Robin Broom, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. Thanks so much for joining me today. Today, I'm going to feature this wonderful DSP. It is, and DSP, somebody the other day didn't know what DSP stands for, and that's the shortened term for designer series paper. This is a new paper. It's absolutely fabulous. This is not all of it because I keep using it all up because it's wonderful. Love the blues. Lots of great blues. We've got Blueberry Bushel and Boho Blue and Night of Navy and Misty Moonlight, probably Balmy Blue too. I don't know. But anyway, lots of wonderful blues. And this is absolutely perfect. This card is a simple card that I made last week for my Facebook Live, but today we're going to use that paper and we're going to make one of these cards. And I don't know if it has a name or not. I'm going to call it the double bendy card because it bends 2 times. And I was making these. This is just recently retired. It is the paper that went with the Dainty Delights, I believe it is, a stamp set, and it coordinated well, and I wanted to make some fancy fold cards for my team members who have anniversaries coming up, Stampin' Up! Anniversaries. So this is what I did. It was not easy to come up with all these stamps, and then I don't know if you can see, but I also took the stamp and I just very lightly stamped it in the new bubble bath. Is that what it's called? I gotta learn all my new names, but anyway, so that it matches the paper, and it's just kind of cool. So I used Blackberry Bliss and the bubble bath. It's got to have another name in there, but I'm not remembering it at the moment. But anyway, this Bendy Fun Fold card is what we're going to make, but we're going to make this one. I made one for my mom for Mother's Day using that countryside end paper, and it was just fabulous. And I'm going to make another one. It's just slightly different because I've got another of the anniversary cards to make. And let's see. So I have done a few things ahead of time, but I'm going to let you watch while we put some of it together. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to figure out all the pieces and parts that we need. So the structural part, basically all this part right here is you'll need cardstock for that, and then you are adding the designer series paper to it. So, but the cardstock is strong and it gives you the great structural base for that. So you will need 4 of the 5.5 by 4 1/4, 5.5 by 4 1/4. And then you are going to score it, and I will bring up my paper trimmer and we're going to score it. So we're going to score it at 2 1/8 because that is half on the 4 1/4 size. On the top, 2 1/8 will give you exactly halfway. All right, so that is the Boho Blue cardstock that I chose, and we just scored it. And there's actually 4 of those, and then you will need some DSP, and I used ones that were like a background pattern. As you can see with this one, this is the polka dot, so it's the background pattern, and I chose this one. It's also really pretty on the other side. This paper is just fabulous. All right, so let's see if I have a liquid glue that is going to cooperate today. Maybe not. Let's see. I doubt that one will. This one might. Let's check it out. The one that I was just using, yep, this one works. Is in the other room. All right, so we're gonna put these here, and you're gonna need 8 of these background pattern pieces, and they are cut at I didn't write that. I don't think I wrote that one down. It is, I think it's 5 1/4. Actually, let me grab my ruler and we will double check it, make sure I am not leading you astray. All right, let's see. Yep, it's 2. Yeah, definitely. It's a 2 by, oh yeah, 5 3/8. I remember that now. 2 and 5 3/8. Now be careful if you do have a directional pattern when you're cutting your paper. If you wanted it to go this way, that's fine. But just be aware of any directional patterns. Some of these have them and some of them don't. All right, so we're going to put that on there. Okay, and then we're going to score it. It's already scored, but we're going to take our bone folder, and I am going to, on the score line, whoops, I just moved my paper. Maybe I should let it dry for just a second. I'm getting all excited and ahead of myself. Okay, give me just a second. But anyway, I'll pull that out. You are going to fold it in half and then use your bone folder and make a nice crease. So that's where you end up with your 4 pieces of the boho blue cardstock and then 8 pieces of the background pattern DSP. All right, let's see if this is ready or not to give a nice crease to it. Yeah, I think that's great. Looks good. Okay, so that is the structural base of our card, and we can actually start to put it together. And I think I'm going to try, we'll see how it works. I'm going to use some Stampin' Seal. And as I have mentioned before, this Stampin' Seal Plus and the Stampin' Seal, I have a love-hate relationship with. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't work. When it works, it is super wonderful. All right, I'm going to butt these up together and kind of line it up that way. And then, yep, press it. All right, so now we have the beginnings of our card. All right, so let's get another piece and we're going to do the same to it. We're going to put some adhesive. It can be the liquid glue. On one of the ones that I made yesterday, I actually used a little bit too much liquid glue and it got all stuck. And since this is a card that moves, you don't want it to be stuck. So it won't work. All right, I'm gonna line that one up this way. See if I'm not gonna press down until I've got it ready. That's the one thing I do like about the liquid glue. All right, I think that was in place. All right, press it down. All right, now look at that. We're gonna put one more, but before we do that, I'm gonna go ahead. Well, you know what? Yeah, let's do that. Okay, I'm gonna leave it just like this. All right, so there we have it. And you could do something different with it, but we do want to make, or I do want to make a Bendy card, double Bendy card. All right, the next thing that you'll need, now that we've got our structural base going on, is I called it the pretty DSP. So we've got the background DSP and now the pretty DSP. All right, I also did something kind of funny. I like the little bunnies, and I didn't want the bunnies to be completely cut in half. So I kind of measured and I took off just a little strip of the DSP so that the bunnies would be, I wouldn't be cutting them all to pieces and you just see bunny feet or bunny hands. So, but anyway, so it kind of worked. So this piece, before I used the dies for it, looked like this, and so you need 2 of these in your pretty coordinating pattern, and these are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Is that right? Yes, it is. No, it's not. It's 4 1/2 by 5 1/4. Yeah. Okay, 4 1/2. Let me hang on just a second. Let me be sure. I wrote all these down. Yes, 4 1/2. I don't want to lead you astray. And 5 1/4. Yes, 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 that's right. Okay. 4 1/2, 5 1/4. And then you're going to score it on 1/2 inch on this side, on the 4 1/2 inch side, 1/2 inch over here, 1/2 inch over there. All right. And then, so you have it like this. And now you want the dies. And let me show you the dies. I think I brought them in. Yes. Okay, the countryside corners dies. There are however many, and I took this one. This is the largest one, and then I used the next one for the inside piece. So that's the dies that we're using from the countryside corners dies. All right. I am going to kind of fold it like this to give us less room so that I can really see, and we're going to kind of make sure it's as lined up as you can. You're welcome to measure it if you'd like. I'm not going to measure. I'm just going to eyeball it. And let me see if my stamp cut and emboss machine will fit under here without running into anything. And I will run it through. When I do that, I'm going to take those little side pieces and I'm going to lay them back out again. Okay, you don't want to run it through with them folded, but being folded helps you to know exactly where you want that die to line up. And I just feel like that moved. Did it move? Maybe not. I think the bunnies may be playing an optical illusion with me. All right, here we go. All right, let me get it, run it through so you can see how that was done. Right. And then this is a piece, the inside, that we're not going to use, but you can save it and use it for another project. All right, so we'll move that aside, take out the die, and now we should have two. The next thing we're going to want to do, we are going to fold it right there on the score line. And the part that's not folded over, we're going to take our bone folder and we're going to give it a curl. Did you ever do that with Christmas ribbon? That's what, you know, to make it all curly, or even birthday package ribbon. Excuse me, I got a tickle in my throat. So we're going to make it bendy. That was probably extra bendy. So just use your bone folder. Your bone folder has lots of uses. It's a very versatile tool. All right, so now we've got both of those. And now we can actually, I'm going to use the one that's less curly at the moment. All right, we need our adhesive to be right here on the strips, those where we scored it on that half inch. All right, I'm going to try liquid glue, and let me see, I'm going to do, yeah, I think I can do them both. I've tried it both ways. Oh, that was not the bottle I was using. I've tried it with the Stampin' Seal, and I've tried it with the liquid glue, and either one works. This one's a little, I like the fact that you can wiggle it around, but it also can get messy. Some people are just not a fan, and I understand that. All right, so see, it's going to give me just a little bit of wiggle room. I'm going to slide it up. These lines on the pattern paper right here really, really help. Okay, so we're going to adhere it down, make it completely flat. Okay, so you've got the strip here and the strip under here. All right, and so there that is. Is that fun? Oh, I like it. Okay, now for this one, this particular team member, this is her 6th anniversary. So we're going to put that in there. Now, I did not measure these exactly. I used a scrap. As long as your scrap for each one is approximately 2.5 by 3 3/4, then you'll have enough to be able to get those out of there. I stamped first and then I cut out, just because I was having a really hard time finding stamps that fit in this little area, but they are, and I chose all kinds from, I even used, I think this actually came from a paper pumpkin. So lots and lots of stuff. Save your paper pumpkins if you have them, all those wonderful stamps. And now they even last month had a came with a divider to put those, all your spots in, your ink spots in. Okay, I'm going to use dots, glue dots, and I'm going to actually wait. Hold your horses. We forgot the mechanism. I am just getting so excited here. The mechanism. Here we go. We need 2 of these, and again in the same cardstock, which is the boho blue, and it is cut at 1 by 3 inches. So 1 by 3, and then you score it again at that 1/2 inch. That's just the magical score line, I believe. So then I'm going to bend that over. I've already cut them. I've already scored them. And just like we did with this piece, I'm going to make it curl using the bone folder. And hopefully just to those score lines. So there's one, and you will need two if you're doing the double bendy. So I'll save that for the other side. Okay. Now, yes, forget the the glue dots for right now. They don't go there. They go somewhere else. All right, let's put. I'm going to go. Speaking of glue, the liquid glue right here, and there on those little tabs, and then I'm going to just eyeball it and right in pretty much in the center, okay? And I'm going to hold that down for a minute. All right, yep, I'm seeing just a little bit of that glue poking out. So let's see if I have anything to wipe it with. I can wipe it with this. See if we can get that to go out of there. Because you don't. Actually, I think that thing I think it'll be fine. All right, so now are your glue dots, okay? And the glue dots, you're gonna do 3 of them, all right? I'm gonna put one here, right in the line, okay? Just follow that line. And I need 2 more. And you could use other adhesive as well, I think. I think, though, it has something relatively thin. I don't think I would use the, I don't think I would use the Stampin' Seal, because this is really bendy. I'm not sure if the Stampin' Seal would be the way to go. All right, so now you've got the 3 glue dots, and now we're just gonna line this up, flatten it out, line it up, and it's going to show. Isn't that interesting? Just a little bit like that. And now it pops out. So it's down and then pops out. I love it. Okay, that's that side. Let's move to the other side. Okay, and now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put glue on both of these. All right, I'm going to line it up, and like I said, this one is, I'm using the liquid glue, makes it easier on this last piece to make sure it's all lined up and even. Okay, I think it is. All right, so there, we've got that one bendy, and now we're going to do the second bendy. It's really nice that it folds flat. Okay, so same deal. All right, this time, let's, just for funsies, I'm going to try and use the seal plus, I'm nervous about going over the spot. Okay, I think that's fine. I'm going to wrap it over. All right, but I am, since it doesn't give me wiggle room, I'm going to eyeball it, and then I'm going to put one side down, and then I'll go back and put the other side down. Okay. And again, that's really nice that you've got those straight lines there. Okay. And then let's get the glue on that part, right, following right along where the score line is. Okay, I like that one really well. I've got a little bit here. Let's see if there's a, like I said, I don't want to glue my card together. That would be so sad, because it's a super fun card. Okay. It should be able to roll up on itself. And once we get it all down, all right. Almost. Okay, my little gluey thing's not around. I have a glue, kind of eraser. All right, there. And there's the other side. Wonderful. All right. This time I will remember to use the mechanism first. And you know what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of redo the, I'm going to go a little bit past the quarter, I keep saying quarter, half-inch mark. Okay, now I'm going to do the curvy bendy with the bone folder. All right, and now we're going to put our glue And we're gonna lay this flat, center this the best that we can. All right, and now comes our 3 glue dots with our take your pick tool. All right, and I start with, probably easier to start with. You know what? Is that what I did wrong? No, that's right. Yep, that's right. Second guessing myself. Wow, I made a bunch of these yesterday, and now I'm having to almost relearn today. That's okay. I've got a little puppy that's not feeling well today, so I'm not sure what's up with that. All right, we've got our dots. We'll take our other sentiments and stick that down. Center it. The glue dots give you a little bit of wiggle room as well. All right. Okay. And there's that one. So that's just so cool. What do you think? Do you like it? The double bendy card. And I like the fact that it stands up too. So on my blog, I'll put the card that I made for my mother using this, and I also had a bow on it for Mother's Day, so it was really nice. And on this one, I ended up putting the Blackberry Bliss around it. I just cut it the right size and then just followed the angles there because it blended in too much, so I wanted it to have a background. This one has the background, so I didn't think that it needed it. So that is that. So I'm excited and to be able to put these in the mail and celebrate these team members. All right, thank you so much for joining me. And this is, let's see, well, there goes my brain. Oh dear. Okay. Today is Brainless Day in the treehouse, so I'm so glad you joined me in the Creative Treehouse, even though my brain seems to have disappeared today. That's okay, and I'm hoping my little puppy is okay, and that is it. You can find these measurements and things will be on my blog. Oh, I know one thing I was probably going to say is that this is not my original idea. I saw Lisa, and her last name starts with a C, and I am probably not going to be able to pronounce it, but I'll put that in the description. She did a card very similar to this and with the same papers, and it was just fabulous. So I basically cased hers. So thank you, Miss Lisa. I really appreciate it. And thank you guys for joining me in the treehouse. And I look forward to seeing you next time when we make another project together. So don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button and be one of my subscribers. And you can even push the bell and get notified when a new video goes live. So thanks again for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Hopefully I'll have a brain back next time. All right, thanks guys. Bye-bye.